సరే మనం ఏం నేర్చుకున్నాం yesterday? So we have understood what is a class, all of you. Yeah. So class has variables and methods. So next we understood object. Object is used to access the variables and methods, right? Object is we call instance of a class used to access the variables, methods. Now how do we create object? Class name, some object equal to new class name. So this is the syntax, right, to create an object. The next we understood variable types. So variable types, yeah, we have something what we call static variables, instance, and then local variables. These are the three types, right? So static variables belongs to class. So we can access them directly using the class. Class name dot we can access, right? But in this student example, yeah, college is static. We are accessing directly using the student dot college, right? But whereas name and course are instance variables. Yeah, name and course are instance variables. They belongs to object. Okay. So we created two objects yesterday, S1 and S2, two objects are created. So name and course also created twice. Yes or not? So S1 object has name and course. S2 object also has name and course. So if we two copies create out there, but college is created only one copy. Both objects refers to same variable. Alage ipudu method also. If it is a static method. If it is a static method, then directly we can access using the class. Yes, if it is a static method, if I write public static void, suppose if there is a f1 method. Now see, we can access that f1 method directly using the class student dot. Now see, student dot f1 method is displayed, right? Inka emanna display method outundi kada. Display method we are not seeing here. Ikkada display method kanapadatledu kada. Yeah, yes, all of you, display method we are not able to see, right? Why? Because display method is not a static, but f1 method is a static. We can directly see using the class. Ade college kuda static variable kada. We can access directly using the class. Yeah, okay kada. So static variables are methods we can directly access using the class. And again, if you see the some program here, so now in this math is a class, right? All of you, math is a class. POW is a method kadamma. Math is a class and POW is a method. Mari, did we create object for math class and access POW or directly we are accessing? ఇది ఎలా చేస్తున్నామా? ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏమైనా math class object create చేసామా? ఏమా did I create object for math class? No. I am directly accessing POW method using the class, right? And now POW is a method. What is the topic I am talking? I am talking about a word called దేని గురించి ఇక్కడ మాట్లాడుతున్నామా? We are talking about static, right? A variable or method is a static. We can directly access using the class name, right? But ikkada kuda here also we are accessing POW method directly using the class. And now POW is a static. Method ane cheptunnanamma. Ippudu POW is a method, math is a class. You are daniki object create cheyakunda direct ga access chestunnam kada. Ante appudu em method ani adugutunna. That is a static method, adi kada. That's what the concept we are talking, right? So the object create cheyakunda direct ga chestunnam kada. How it is possible? Because it is a static method. So ikkada now f1 method we are directly accessing, right? Using student dot f1 we are calling directly because these are all static methods, right? So like that, if you say math dot, you see all these methods. There is one S symbol also written right here. A small red color marking S is written, right? Now what is that? These are all Static methods. So because they are static methods, we can directly call using the class. All of you, yeah, if a method, see now POW is a static method, so we are directly calling using the class dot method name. And then non-static either, well, if it is not a static, what we have to do? We have to create object and access the method. We have to create object and access the method, right? If a variable, if a variable or method is static, what is that we can directly access using? Come on, Chapandi, we can directly access using sentence framing English frame sentence. If a variable or method is static, we can directly access using class. Using class name, right? Okay. So if a variable or method is not a static, if a variable or method not a static, then how we have to access? We have to access using object, right? Yeah. So if they are not static, we have to access using object. If they are static, we can directly access using the class name, right? So in a class, there can be few static methods, there can be non-static methods. It can have combination. So now you see that string is a class, right? All of you, string is a class. Yes, all of you, string is a class, right? Now, length method is there. Length, substring, caret, even methods. If static methods are non-static methods. Non-static methods. They are not static. That's why you are accessing using object. Str is an object, right? Str is an object. Yeah. So because string is a wrapper class. String is a wrapper class. For wrapper class, if you create a variable that works like a variable, that also works like an object also. I explained last time. I think I repeated multiple times last time. Wrapper class, if you create a string str, but str works like a variable, right? Str equal to, you can assign some value. But str is working like a variable, right? Like a variable. Str dot, you can also get methods, right? And now str is also working like an object. And then integer, I think you remember, right? I was explaining integer. Integer n, if you declare, now n equal to 10, you can assign some value, as well as n also works like an object, right? N dot, like that you can also see what you call, n dot, value of, like that, you can also works like, object also. Understood? So n is also working like an object also. So if the wrapper class, that is the advantage. Wrapper class, that is the advantage. So if you declare a variable, so for a wrapper class, that works like a variable, that works like an object also. And then normal basic data type is, if you declare int n, so what is that n equal to, you can assign some value, that's all. But n dot, do you get any methods? No, because int is a class. Int is a class, huh? No, integer is a class, wrapper class. Int is a normal basic data type. Int is a basic data type, right? It is not a wrapper class. And the character is a wrapper class. What is that? Character is a character ch ante, but ch equal to, you can assign some value, right? So it is working like a variable. Ch dot, so E is digito, E is alphabeto, there is methods, right? Yes or not? Ch dot, E is alphabeto, E is digito, methods. So what is that now? This is also works like an object also. Understood, right? So if ch is working like a variable, ch also works like an object. But str works like a variable, str also works like an object. This kind of feature is available only for wrapper classes like that. This kind of feature is available only for wrapper classes. So it works like a variable as well as it works like an object also. అందుకని మనం str ఈక్వల్ టు ఒక వాల్యూ అసైన్ చేసాం. సార్ ఇప్పుడు str is a వేరియబుల్ కదా, మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడేమో str డాట్ లెంత్ ఇవన్నీ యు ఆర్ కాలింగ్. str is also working like an object also. So it works like a variable as well as it works like an object also. Understood, right? So that is available only for wrapper classes. So if now, yeah, if I say length, how are you accessing this length method? Using object, right? And if you are accessing using object means they are not static. Ade ipudu now one day we did one method string dot value of. Where is it? Here string dot value of is a method. That method you are directly calling using class name dot method, right? Yes. Name indulo what is a class here? String is a class, right? String is a class kada. String dot class name dot method we are calling that directly. And now this method is a static method. So I can rasundi kada. Now if you see here, what is that string, right? You say string dot, see value of. See this method also again there is a s symbol is written, right? And what is that? These are all static methods, right? So you are able to access a method directly using the class because they are all static methods. So, okay, man, now understood all of you. So if a variable or method is a static, we can directly access using the class. If they are not static, then we have to access using the object. Okay, so that's what you are also doing here. The math is a class, POW is a method. So you are accessing directly using the class. So because it is a static method. So if they are not static, then we should have created object for math class like math some obj equal to new math. Then object dot we should have access to the methods. But a scanner we were doing. But a scanner we created object, right? Scanner s equal to new scanner. We created object. Object dot we are accessing methods, right? Yes, sir. So like some methods we have to access using object if they are not static. If they are static, we can access directly using the class name. Okay, so this is all what we learned yesterday. Static, instance variables, local variables like that. In the next, what did we learn yesterday? Methods. So methods. Now what is the other concept we learned? Method overloading. So method return type, right? So method overloading means what is the meaning? We write same method, but arguments are different, right? Input arguments are different. So maybe number of arguments is different or data type is different. The number of arguments is different or data type is different. So return type is yes. So method can return a value. So now if a method returns a value, then we have to tell the data type, right? So if method doesn't return anything, it is called as, yeah, come on, all of you. Method return if it doesn't return anything, it is called as a void. So if it returns, we have to tell the data type, right? So the int, string, plus method also can return. Method also can return an object of a class also, right? Yes, sir. Method return type can be a class name also. Method return type can be class name kuda undachu kadamma. I am writing a method public. But I am saying sample f1 method. And now what is sample? Sample is a class kada, right? So that means we have to return somewhere in the program inside this method. We should have created sample s equal to new sample. We should have created an object. We should have done some coding here. Some coding we should have done here. And somewhere we have to say return yes. But what is yes? Yes is an object of sample. Yes. So now this is returning an object of sample. So method can return a normal basic values, right? Int, string, boolean, like that. Plus method also can return a object of a class also. Method can return object of class also. So this is all what we learned yesterday. Right, methods. Method overloading concept. Same method declared in a class for multiple times, but with a different arguments. So either number of arguments are different or data type is different. So now if you take, this is taking 2 integer arguments. This is taking 3 integer arguments. This is also taking 2 arguments, but 1 integer, 1 string. So our number of arguments are same, but data type is different, right? Yeah. So like this. Now when you call 5, 9, 20, the second one is called, right? If I call 5, some string, the third one is called. If I say 5, 9, the first one is called. If you give 4 inputs, that is an error, right? There is no method which is taking 4 input values. So that's an error. Oh, for example, when you take a string class, no, any method, ma. But yesterday caret of what is the input, how many arguments it is taking? One integer argument it is taking. But instead of integer, if you pass a string in a double quotes, if you pass a string, that is an error, right? So caret you have to pass integer argument. But you know what is the we are passing a string. That's why it is giving error, right? So caret మనం input ఏమి ఇవ్వాలి? Integer ఇవ్వాలి. But I gave, but నేనేమి ఇస్తున్నా? String ఇస్తున్నా. That mismatch కదా. Yes or not? So if it is going to take integer means you have to give integer only. So I cannot give a string. Yes or not? So like that. Okay. So now here there is an add method which is taking only 3 arguments. But if I give 4 arguments, that is an error, right? There is no add method which takes 4 integers. Yeah, I think all of you understood. No? ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడైనా add method 4 integers తీసుకునే method ఉందా? No. So that's why this is an error. చేస్తే అప్పుడు ఓకే, లేనప్పుడు ఎలా ఇస్తాం? If you create a method which takes 4 arguments, then that's okay. Right now there is no method, right? Yeah, next method return types. No? Void means method will not return a value. If returns, you have to specify the data type. Okay, so void, int, string, like this, you know, it returns an object of a class. Yes or not? It can also return object of class like this. So this is all what we have learned yesterday. Next we need to understand. Okay. Now this add method, multiply method, these methods. These methods, will they execute automatically or they will execute only when we call them? Yeah, come on, even online people. So these methods will execute automatically or they will run only when we call them?
We call them. We call them.
Yeah, method will execute only when we call them. Yes, all of you, methods will execute only when we call them, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But suppose now you take, yeah, I said this notepad itself is also a class, right? Internally. Yeah, all of you know notepad is also a class, right?
Yes.
What are the methods it is having? Minimize, maximize, close. These are all some methods are there. So move means I can click on it, hold it, and I can move, right? Move. Resize, right? I can increase or decrease the size, resize. So many methods say. So notepad will automatically minimize, or when I only click on minimize, it will do. Yeah, when we click, it will minimize it. That means when I click on maximize only, it will maximize. When I click on close only, it will close. But open. Actually, when I click on this notepad, it is creating a new object for the notepad class. It is creating a new notepad you are creating. That means internally it is creating object for the notepad class. Object is also creating automatically, open is also doing it. When I click on it, what is happening internally? New notepad means new means what is the meaning? Yeah, new ane word ekkada vaadamma?
Create memory.
Yeah, new is used to create an object, right? Object create just the new is a word used to create an object, right? So that means it will create a new object is created. New object is created automatically.
It will
ఏం జరుగుతుందమ్మా? మినిమైజ్ మాక్సిమైజ్ క్లోజ్ రీసైజ్ మూవ్ ఓపెన్ ఏం జరుగుతుంది ఆటోమేటిక్? అదే అడుగుతున్నా. సో వెన్ ఎవర్ యూ క్లిక్ అండ్ న్యూ నోట్ ప్యాడ్, న్యూ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ఈస్ క్రియేటింగ్, ఆటోమేటికలీ ఓపెన్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో హ్యాపెనింగ్. అదే కదా మనం డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు మినిమైజ్ ఉంది, మినిమైజ్ నేను ఇట్లా క్లిక్ చేస్తేనే మినిమైజ్ అవుతుంది. మాక్సిమైజ్, ఇఫ్ ఐ క్లిక్ ఓన్లీ మాక్సిమైజ్ హ్యాపెనింగ్. If I click on close only, close is happening. But open automatically happening when I create a new object. Yes or not? That means some code, some program is executing automatically when we create an object. Yes or not? Some code is executed automatically when we create an object. So where we should write such type of code? No, sir, I want to write some code. That code should execute automatically when I create object for the class. But if you add method on the add method, will it execute automatically? No, we have to create object dot method and then it will call. Yes or not?
Yes.
So మనం ఎన్నిసార్లు డిస్కస్ చేసినా అదే కాన్సెప్ట్. ఈజ్ అన్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎ క్లాస్ యూజ్డ్ టు యాక్సెస్ ద వేరియబుల్స్ అండ్ మెథడ్స్. అంటే మెథడ్స్ మనం కాల్ చేస్తేనే మెథడ్ రన్ అవుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు అదే కదా వన్ డే ఐ వాజ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయినింగ్. ఇప్పుడు టీవీ ఉంది ఆర్ నోట్ ప్యాడ్ ఉంది ఆర్ టీవీ, మీరు వాల్యూమ్ బటన్ క్లిక్ చేస్తేనే వాల్యూమ్ కోడ్ విల్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్. Yes or not? If you click on channel button, only the channel will either increase or decrease, either based on plus or minus. It will not automatically increase or decrease volume, automatically increase or decrease channels, right? Emma, will it do it automatically?
No.
No. So button press chestane it will happen. But now I need some code which should execute automatically eppudu
When we open,
when we create a new object.
Okay.
So I want to execute some code automatically when I create a new object. So then, see, any code we have to write inside a method only. Any code we have to write inside a method. But I will write one method here, public. Now name of the method, I give same name of the class. So what is the class name? Calculation. So now this is also a method. But what do you observe here? Name of the method is same name of the
Class.
name of the method is same name of the class. Now suppose if I write some code here. Okay, I will show you. Instead of there, let me create here. Tell me how should I write a method? What is the rule I said? I write a method. Method name must be
Class name.
same name of the class, right? But akkada calculation was a class name. Method name also same name, right? Ikkada what is the class name? Student. So now method name also must be
Student.
student, right? So I'm writing a method. Let me write some code. Okay. Now this is also a method. Like how we have display F1 is a method, student is also a method, right? But what did you observe here? Name of the method and name of the class is same. So if you observe here, when I say new student of, I'm opening a bracket, right? You see this one, this word and this word both are same, right? Line number line student of, and here also student of is same, right? Adi actually internal meaning. So whenever you create a new student, when you create a new object, automatically this method is also called. So if now how many objects I am creating?
2 objects.
2.
Yeah, come on, others also. If you student, how many objects I am creating? 2 objects I am creating, right? S1 and S2, 2 objects. So now this method will call automatically 2 times, right? So when we create S1 object also, it should call and display hello. Whenever I create S2 object also, it should create and display hello, right? And now when you run this program, see hello is displayed twice. Yeah, come on, hello is that message is printed twice, right? Because this method is executed 2 times when we created 2 objects. Okay. Now this is also a method, but we call this method name as
Student.
So now what is constructor? Constructor is also a method. But name of the constructor is
Different.
same name of the class. Constructor is also a method. This is also a method, but name of the constructor is same name of the class. And it is automatically executed when we create an object. Okay. And if normal method on display method, this method will execute automatically. This method automatically run out. No, how it will execute?
You have to call
By creating object.
object.
మెథడ్ కానీ ఏదైనా కావాలంటే ఏం చేయాలమ్మా? We have to access using object. ఇక్కడ కూడా చాలా సార్లు రిపీట్ చేశారు. So we can access we have to access using object. ఏదైనా మెథడ్స్ ఏదైనా వేరియబుల్స్ కావాలంటే we have to access using object. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ we have to create object క్రియేట్ చేసి object s1.display s2.display అంటేనే కదా రన్ అవుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇది చెప్పకపోతే రన్ అవుతుందమ్మా? Will it execute automatically?
No, sir.
No. Right? So now only constructor is executed. No message is displayed, right? So because we are not calling the display method. Okay, so methods will execute only when we call them, but constructor will execute automatically. Eppudu
When the class
eppudu run avutundi tammudu?
always when the
Yeah, so when it will execute automatically?
When we give command.
no command auto
1 second. Yeah. No, constructor is also a method. అది ఎప్పుడు రన్ అవుతుంది? ఏంది రెండు సేమ్ ఉన్నప్పుడు? ఏం తమ్మి ఇంతసేపు మాట్లాడుతున్నారు? కాదమ్మా, constructor will execute automatically when
the class is I mean when the execution is
when we
starting,
create object, Swami.
object is created.
Constructor is executed automatically when we create object. ఇంతసేపు ఏం మాట్లాడుతున్నాం? What we are talking? Constructor is also a method. It will execute automatically when we create object for a class. So when we create a new class name, when you create a new object, then it will execute automatically. So here we created two objects. So that's why it was executing automatically 2 times. So it will construct return automatically. When we create
Object.
Yeah, so when a constructor is executed automatically when we create object for that class. Method will execute only when we call it. Method will not execute automatically. When I am telling the same thing, right? Notepad only. If you minimize button click chestane minimize will execute. Maximize button click chestane maximize will execute. But open emaindi automatically executed when I create a new notepad, when I create a new object. So new is a word used to create an object, right? So when I create a new notepad, when a new object is created, automatically open is also executed. Sir, so some code we want to execute automatically when we create new object. So then you write a constructor. Okay, then you write that code inside a constructor. So constructor ante daniki rules ante appudu cheppandi itlanti points anni. Constructor name must be the same name of the class. So name and atlanti points appudu cheppandi. Nenu em adiganu question. So when constructor is executed automatically. So constructor is executed automatically when you create object for a class. Okay. So method eppudu run avutadi?
When we call the object.
Ante kada difference. Method will not execute automatically. Method will execute only when we call it. But constructor we cannot call. Constructor will execute automatically when we create objects. Okay, next. Method we can call any number of times.
Yes.
Call the same method we can call any number of times.
Yes.
But constructor, no, constructor is called only one time when object is created. That's all. After that, again you cannot call a constructor. Okay, constructor is called only one time when object is created. So constructor we cannot call again we cannot call. But method we can call any number of times. Open on the open oksare call chesam. So when we create a new notepad, Open has happened automatically. But again, what you are doing, you are minimizing, again you are restoring, you are closing, like that you are doing, yes or not? You are maximizing, you are moving like that. But open is executed only one time when we create a new notepad. Understood, right? Yeah. So now what is the difference between a constructor and a normal methods?
Constructor is called when the object is created, and method is called only when we pass it through object.
Yeah. So it is also a method. The name of the method is same name of the class. It is automatically executed when object is created for the class. So that is, it is called only one time when object is created. We cannot call again, we cannot call a constructor. So it doesn't, and again, one more point, it doesn't have any return type. The methods has return type, right? Void ano, like int ano, string ano, return types are there, right? Constructor, there is no return type, not even void also here. You should not write a word called void and a rival. Okay. So constructor, there is no any return type. So if you find what are all differences between them? So constructor name must be the same name of the class. Method name can be any name. Yes or not? Method name can be any meaningful name, right? Yes or not? But constructor name must be same name of the
Same
class.
as class.
Yes. Next, the constructor is called only
Only
Object is created.
one time an object is created. Method we can call any number of times, right? Next, so constructors doesn't have any return type. Methods can have return type, right? A void, a int, a string, like that return type can be there, right? Okay, so these are the differences. No? Next, one more thing. Methods can be overloaded, right? Like method can have different arguments, right?
Yes.
Like that, constructor also can be overloaded. A constructor also can be overloaded. So I can have same constructor, public student. So I can pass some arguments right here. String. Yes, name, comma. What you call, string. Course. Confuse avatar anunte. Okay, string f1 comma string. Now this constructor is taking how many arguments? 2 arguments. This constructor doesn't take any argument. But when you say new student of directly, which constructor is called?
First one.
first one,
The first one, right? And if you give 2 arguments,
second one,
new student of, let's say for example, Kiran, comma. If I call like this, now which constructor is called?
second constructor,
Right? Kiran will go to S1, triple E will go to S2, right? Now this is a constructor which is taking 2 arguments. Right? So if I give 2 values, then the second constructor is called, right? Okay. Method మనం overloading ఎలా చేస్తామో constructor కూడా overloading చేయొచ్చు. Okay. So how you are overloading the method, right? So same method name with different arguments. Like that constructor kuda same constructor with different arguments. You can have a constructor overloading also. But when you create object, only one constructor is called based on the arguments what you pass. Even if arguments pass cheste only e constructor call అవుతారు. Both will not call. It will call only one constructor based on the arguments what we pass. So now can I assign a values here? For example, s name equal to s1. What you call, course equal to s2. Then if I don't initialize them, if I am not giving the values, but now s1 what will happen automatically? S1 will take Kiran comma triple E, right? When I create S1 object, I'm giving initializing some values, right? So I am not giving values again. But when I create S2, I am calling a default constructor. I am not initializing. So then you are calling again initializing values, right? Separately. So now what is S1 student will have? Kiran and triple E. S2 will be Vijay and IT, but college is KLU, right? The recent updated value. Yeah. So the student one is Kiran and triple E, right? So when you call the second object when you create, then the first constructor called displayed hello, right? Sir. So now this constructor is called only one time when we created a second object. But this constructor is called one time when we created first object. Understood, right? Okay, na? Right. So now what is the difference between a constructor and method? Can you conclude finally? What is the difference, all of you? Yeah, constructor is also a method. Okay, now what is the differences? Constructor name and class name must be same.
Same.
Method name can be any meaningful name you can write. Next, constructor, there is no return types. Methods can have return types. Constructor is called only one time object is created. Method we can call any number of times. Constructor also can be overloaded, same like method of overloading. But only one constructor is called based on the arguments what are given. Okay, na? So based on arguments given, only one constructor is called automatically. That's all right. Yeah, is it okay, all of you? So now what does a class has? Your class name is
Variable.
class has
Method.
Methods, variables, property.
constructor.
Methods.
Then, what does a class has? Class has variables, constructor, and then
Methods.
methods. Won't have a single class. Now just see what is this class I created, student, and constructor is a constructor overloading here. What is this? This is overload. Yeah, please observe. Any questions in this? Check. చేయలేం కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ నేమ్ ఏం చెప్పాం చాలా క్లియర్ గా
Class name.
కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ నేమ్ ఏముండాలి క్లాస్ నేమ్ ఏముంటే ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా అలాగే ఉండాలి నాకు యాజ్ అ రూల్ క్లాస్ నేమ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది ఎప్పుడు
Capital letter. It's
కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ కూడా అలాగే ఉంటుంది ఓకే మనం ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇక్కడ స్టూడెంట్ క్యాపిటల్ స్మాల్ లెటర్ వస్తాం క్యాపిటల్ వస్తాం
capital.
అదంతే ఇంకా దాని గురించి ఎక్స్ట్రా పాయింట్స్ అన్ని అనవసరం క్లాస్ నేమ్ ఏమంటే ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా అలా ఉండాలి అంటే ఓకే రైట్ స్మాల్ లెటర్ ఉంటే స్మాల్ లెటర్ క్యాపిటల్ లెటర్ అంటే క్యాపిటల్ ఓకే ఇట్స్ ఓకే మా so now what does the class has variables constructor and then
Methods.
so okay, variables we as I told you variables we understood static variable instance variables local variables so methods kuda maybe method overloading a concepts what we learned method return types so where a method gani variable static aithe what will happen non static what will happen okay the next topic suppose I am writing a class A. In class A, suppose I need a variable index. Now there is a method public void f1. And let us take there is another variable index comma y. Now I am writing another class. Yeah, here also I need index comma index. The same f1 method. Yeah, there is another method public. Yeah, if you see these two programs, what does the class A has? Class A has two variables x and y and f1 method. Class B has x variable, f1 method, f2 method. If you observe here, this x variable, all of you, this x variable in class A and class B, we need same x variable in A and B. We need same f1 method in A as well as in B. Maybe B has some extra variable and extra method, but class A has y variable, right? Extra. But there are some common things, right? Right. But instead of, if you, what did we do here right now? We have duplicated. What happened here? We have, all of you, we have duplicated them, right? So x variable is duplicated in both the classes. F1 method is duplicated in both the classes. So if duplication increases, what happens? Now memory increases. Your coding size also increases, right? Yes or not? No. Your project, for example, if total your project requires only, let's say 10,000 lines of code, because same code got duplicated many places. Now the code became 12,000 lines. Until 2,000 lines of code extra we got because of duplications. That becomes a lot of, performance also will affect. Tomorrow, if you want to modify the code, you have to modify in both the places. Managing the code is difficult. Yes, sir, the size of the code is increases, right? So duplication, this is all lot of, code redundancy. So it's called code redundancy. So duplication, managing is difficult. Now what we can better do is, whatever common in all the classes, can we create in another class? Right. Suppose if I create another class, let us say for example, class C. In class C, I declare what is common things here? X is common. So public void F1 is common, right? So can I declare X and Y here? F1 method inside this class. Now instead of writing this X and Y again, here, my F1 method again here, X variable again here and F1 method here. So can we reuse this X variable and F1 method into class A as well as into B? Yes. So in Java, we have one concept called, now I can write class A, extends C. Here class B, extends C. So if I write like this, all of you, class A extends C, class B extends C. Extend means what does it mean? Extending means you are adding some more. So whatever available in the C, I am taking into A and I am adding some extra if I want. So automatically whatever is there in the C will come to A. Whatever is there in the C will come to B also. So now, right now, okay, if I remove it, but actually, now in class A, what I can do? I can declare only into Y. Right. In class B also, what I can do? Instead of writing all these things, what I can do? What is that I need here? String?
str,
str, and one is that extra method, right? Public void F2.
f2,
Yeah, that's all right. But now automatically in class A, now in class A has how many variables and methods? No, class A has 2 variables and 1 method. So class A is inheriting some variables and methods from C, right? So C lo undeti kuda A lo untayi ma, because A is inherited from C.
C.
A is extended from C, right? That means whatever is available in the C will be there in the A also now. And now A has how many variables? 2 variables.
Variables.
X and Y as well as F1 method also is there in the A now. B also has X variable, str variable, F1 method, F2 method. Okay. So now this concept in Java is called as
Inheritance.
inheritance. So inheritance is used for what purpose? Inheritance is used to
Reduce redundancy.
reuse the variables, methods of a class in another class. Another class is nothing but child class. Okay. So again, what we are talking is the same concept as I told you yesterday. So class, object, variables, methods. If 4 concepts. Now, what concept we are talking now? Sir, I have written 2 different programs. In 2 different programs, there is one method which is common. I don't want to duplicate 2 times. Then do one thing. Whatever is common, put in some other main program. Inherit these 2 from the main program. Automatically, we can reuse it. So whatever is there in the main program will come to the child classes. Now, what is C is now here? C is a parent. What is C now? Here C is called as parent, or it is also called as superclass. It is called as parent or superclass. Now, whereas A and B are called as child class, child or subclass. What is that A and B are called as? A and B are called as child or subclass, whereas C is called as parent or superclass. Yeah, is this okay now? Yeah, so why we are using this inheritance concept? To reuse the variables and methods of a class in other class. Instead of again duplicating, increasing the size of code, which is difficult for us to manage the code. So better reuse it. So the code is, we can reduce the size of the code, right? So this is the next concept called as inheritance. So inheritance is, what is the purpose? To reuse the variables and methods of a class in another class. Nothing but, yeah, come on, child class, right? Now all the variables and methods of parent class are accessible in the child class. The parent class lo unde variables methods ani child class kostayi. Parent class variables methods will come to child class. So if I create object for child class, if I create object for A, A object create chesanu anukunna. A, some obj equal to new A. If I create object for A, obj dot, what I can access?
Parent.
Obj dot, what I can access?
C.
F1.
C class. F1.
method.
Methods.
Variables and methods. So if it నాకు ఏమే variables methods వస్తాయి? obj dot, what variables and what methods I can access? Yeah, obj dot
X comma Y.
Yeah, x I can access.
Yes, sir.
X equal to 10 I can assign, right?
Yes, sir.
The variable kadama, I can assign some value, right? Obj dot x equal to 10. So obj dot
Y equals.
I can assign some value. Obj dot I can call F1 method.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I am able to access x variable, but in A x is not declared. But where is the x coming from? X is from class C, right? Parent. Where is the F1 method coming from?
Class C.
Yeah, F1 method also coming from class C, right?
Yes.
So now if you create object for child class, you can access the variables and methods of parent class as well as child class also. ఎప్పుడైనా అదే రూలే. మీరు 100 క్లాసులు నేర్చుకున్నా యూజింగ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ వీ కెన్ యాక్సెస్ వేరియబుల్స్ అండ్ మెథడ్స్, రైట్? ఇప్పుడు అక్కడ ఓబీజీ డాట్ అంటే ఏముంటాయి లిస్ట్ లో? అక్కడ వేరియబుల్స్ అండ్ మెథడ్స్. ఇప్పుడు అక్కడ ఎన్ని వేరియబుల్స్ ఉన్నాయి? x and y are the 2 variables and one f1 method. That's all, right? Right. So obj dot, what I can access here? X variable, y variable as well as f1 method. Understood, right? So is this okay, man? Now, if you create object for child class, we can access the variables and methods of child class as well as parent class also. Okay, right? Emma, are you understanding or any confusion here? అది చేయాలి, కరెక్ట్. క్లాస్ అది ఇప్పుడు అర్థమవుతుందా? ఏమన్నా చాలా కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉందా? నేను ఏం చెప్పేది ఎక్కడికో అది స్టబ్ డ్రైవర్ అదేమన్నా అసలు ఆ ఆలోచన వచ్చింది అక్కడికి అసలు అది సంబంధమే కాదు. స్టబ్ డ్రైవర్ ఎప్పుడంటే సిలో మనం ఏని కాల్ చేస్తే ఇట్లా ఇన్హెరిట్ చేస్తే దాన్ని స్టబ్ డ్రైవర్ అనరు. స్టబ్ డ్రైవర్ ఎప్పుడంటారు చెప్తాను. అది కూడా స్టబ్ డ్రైవర్ ఎప్పుడంటారు అది కాదు చెప్తున్నాను. మళ్ళీ ఎందుకు వస్తావు డిస్కషన్? అది కాదు అని చెప్తున్నాను. స్టబ్ డ్రైవర్ ఎప్పుడంటారు ఇప్పుడు దిస్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. నేను డైరెక్ట్ గా స్కానర్ అనే వేరే క్లాస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసి కాల్ చేస్తున్నాను కదా సార్. అంటే వన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఈస్ కాలింగ్ అనదర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. అది స్టబ్ డ్రైవర్. ఇప్పుడు ఇది డ్రైవర్, స్కానర్ ఇస్ లైక్ ఏ సమ్ అదర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. వన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఈస్ కాలింగ్ అనదర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. ఇక్కడ ఏమైనా ఏదైనా ఒక క్లాస్ ఎక్కడైనా కాల్ చేస్తున్నాను, సిలో ఏని కానీ ఏలో సీని కానీ ఎక్కడైనా కాల్ చేస్తున్నాను లేదు కదా. ఓకే, సో ఒక క్లాస్ లోపల ఇంకొక క్లాస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసి కాల్ చేస్తే అప్పుడు అది ఇది మెయిన్ క్లాస్, వేరే క్లాస్ మనం ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసి కాల్ చేస్తున్నాం అప్పుడు అట్లా ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, దిస్ ఇస్ ఓకే ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now when you create object for child class, we can access the variables and methods of child class as well as
Parent class.
Okay, now అందుకని ఇప్పుడు యాక్చువల్ గా if you see this notepad is developed by this notepad is created by whom? Microsoft only, right?
Yes.
This paintbrush is also created by Microsoft only.
Yes.
ఇంకా ఏదైనా తీసుకోండి. ఇప్పుడు వర్డ్ డాక్యుమెంట్ ఉంది. దిస్ వర్డ్ డాక్యుమెంట్ is also created by Microsoft only, right? Now in all these three applications there are few common things. What is common methods in all the three applications?
Minimize, maximize.
If I click on this, the window will minimize, right? Paintbrush window also will minimize. Notepad window also will minimize, maximize, close. Then font, I can increase the size of the font, right? That means if I select some text, and increase the font size will increase. Now paintbrush also, if I select some text, if I select the font size will increase. Notepad also font size will increase. Now these are all common, right? This window I can also move. This also I can move method, resize method. There are some common methods, right? Do you think that in this application they created a separate program for minimize, maximize, or they are reusing in all these three classes?
Reusing.
So all the common methods across these three applications, right? Not only this, but Excel on the MS Excel also has minimize, maximize, resize, font like that. So whatever all software is developed by Microsoft, almost all the applications, there are so many common methods. All common methods there are one place and reusing in all these three applications. Okay, but MS Word may have some extra option. Font design I can change, but in Notepad can I change the design of the fonts? No. That is a extra method available in the MS Word application. In Excel we have a chart, we can create a graph. Do we have that graph creation in Notepad? No. So that graph creation is there only in the Excel. Like that, if you see this example here, so common things are there in the parent class here. Yes, common things. X and F1 are common is there. So A has one extra variable Y. B has extra variable str. B has extra method F2. Okay, so common things are coming from C plus extra methods. Like that, if Excel only, common methods are coming from the common class. Graph creation is only in the Excel. Graph creation is not there in the Notepad. Understood? So common things are coming from parent classes. Child classes can have some extra methods. based on that application. Have you understood, right? Yeah. So like that, if you take in real time also, this is how they might have created. Now, Notepad has this common methods, right? Minimize, maximize, close, resize. These are all common methods. Now, Word also have the same methods. Excel also will have these methods. So, if I create a separate class called window, where we write a logic for all these methods. Now, can I say Notepad extends window? Yeah, my MS Word also extends window. Excel also extends window, right? So, these are all the child classes inherited from window class. Understood? So tomorrow when we are doing automation of a project also, if you think that sorry in one program I need to write some logic, same logic I need in another program also, don't write twice. Write one time and reuse it in both the classes. Okay, code only we are reusing it in all multiple classes. Understood, right? Yeah. Is this okay, ma? What is inheritance here? So now in this Notepad is a child or Notepad is a child or subclass, whereas window is a parent or superclass. Terminology also remember. What is a child or subclass? Parent or superclass. So what is superclass here? Window is a superclass. Notepad is a child class or subclass, right? So Word is also a child class. Excel is also a child class. So if you observe here, okay, you observe this small example. The same thing, right? Class A has F1 method. Now class B extends A. Now B is inherited from A, right? Now B has one extra method F2. In total, B has how many methods? All of you, B has how many methods? Yeah, even online, please. B has how many methods?
Sir.
Hello?
2 methods, sir.
Yeah, B has 2 methods, right? F1 and
F2.
F1 and F2, right? So if I create object for B object equal to new B. If I create object for child class, now I can access child class method as well as parent class method also, right? But if you create object for A, if I create object for A,
only one method.
only
One method can be accessed.
Only F1 method we can access, right? Yeah, my एक object create చేస్తే we can access only F1 method, right? And if you create object for B, we can access F1 as well as F2. And B knows something about A, but A doesn't have any information about B. If A came an information there, if you see A alone, does it have any information about B? No, right? Yeah, even online participants, if you see like this, if you see the class A has any information about B? No. I think if you see like this, oh, B has information about A because B is inherited from A. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So B knows about A. A doesn't know anything about B. Yes, sir. Okay. So if you create object for child class, we can access child class methods as well as parent class methods. But if you create object for A, we can access only F1. Okay, now? So observe what is inheritance used for. Inheritance is done to reuse the variables and methods of a class in another class, which is child class.
Third class.
Okay. So, like example, common methods we declared in a parent class, and all child classes are inherited from this parent class. Okay. Yeah, like this example. Okay, now. Okay. Next, we have different types of inheritance. Different types of inheritance. So if I say class A, class B extends A, and class B extends A. Now what type of inheritance? This is called as single inheritance. All of you know this is called as single inheritance. Means one class is inherited from another class. All of you know one class is inherited from another class. That is called as single inheritance. What is that I am trying to do here? What are we trying to do in this?
Accessing both the classes through one class. 2 parent classes.
What we are trying to do.
C is inheriting both A and B. That is not false.
ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తున్నాం? What we are trying to do in this example. Yeah, we are trying to inherit C from
B.
B and both.
Yeah, we are trying to. There is a class A, there is a class B. Go to class ఉన్నాయి కదా. We are trying to inherit C from A as well as B, right? Means we want to get methods of A as well as B both into C. So that is not possible in Java. So that is an error. So this type of inheritance is called as multiple inheritance. It's called as multiple inheritance, which is not possible in Java. So previously, what is that? This is single inheritance, right? One class inherited from another class. But B is inherited only from one single class A. But whereas we are trying to inherit C from both A as well as B. So this is an error in Java. Is it okay, all of you? But if you want to, no, sir. I want to get methods of A, methods of B all into C. I need methods of A as well as B both into C. Then you do like this. First inherit B from A. First inherit B from A. Now you inherit C from B. Now if C will get A, B both into C. But don't directly do like this. Okay. First inherit. Now what happened here? A, B are two independent classes. I'm trying to inherit C into C. Right? A and B both directly into C, right? This is not possible. What you should have done? First inherit B from A, then inherit C from B. Not A and B again. So C from B, right? So like this. Now, this type of inheritance is called as multi-level inheritance. So what is the terminology? This is multiple inheritance, but this is multi-level, right? Multi-level. So now B is a child of A, C is a child of B. Yeah, like that you can have a number of hierarchy levels. Now again you can inherit D from C, E from D. You can have any number of hierarchy levels. Understood, right? So now how many types of inheritance are there in Java? Yes, all of you. Single inheritance,
Multiple.
single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and then multiple inheritance, right? So which is possible and which is not possible? Single inheritance is possible.
Multi-level inheritance.
Multi-level is also possible.
Multiple is
Multiple inheritance not possible, right? Okay, na? So let us do one small example here. How to do inheritance like that? Okay, I am creating a class shape. Yeah, there is one method. Yeah, there are two variables. A shape can have sides, right? How many sides are there? What is the area? Draw method is there. Yeah, you know the shape. Okay, now there are two variables and there is a draw method. Next time, let me create a new class. Rectangle. So what I am trying to do now? So rectangle is also a shape, right? The rectangle also need sides. Rectangle also has area. Now, instead of again declaring them here, can I say rectangle extends the shape? So if I say rectangle extends the shape now, so now automatically now rectangle is a child class and the shape is a parent class. If I create object for rectangle, yeah, now I have to create object for child class, rectangle, right? rectangle, some object equal to new rectangle, r dot. What do you see here now? Rectangle, some object equal to new rectangle. But r dot, you can see that area, sides, draw. Actually, where these methods are coming from? ఇవి ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చాయమ్మా?
Shape.
చెప్పండి. ఇవన్నీ these are all coming from parent class, right? These are all coming from parent class, right? Shape class. So if area is there from shape class, sides also from shape class, draw method also coming from shape class. So okay, sides equal to, let's say 4, either r dot draw, some method I'm calling. Okay, now when I run this rectangle, so it is displaying, right, how to draw the shape. This is the method which we have written. So now child class will get all the variables and methods of parent class, right? So if you create object for child class, we are able to access the parent class variables and methods. Okay, inheritance, how you do? So inheritance is done by using a word called extends. Extends and a word use cheyalma. Next. Now rectangle has the draw method, right? Rectangle draw method undi kada. That method came from parent class. If I write once again draw method again, public void draw. Okay, ikkada emana arguments marchanu anukondi. If I change the arguments, but actually how many draw methods are there in rectangle?
Two draw.
Draw methods. Two draw methods. Rendu unnai. One draw method without arguments. There is one draw method with one argument, right? Two methods unnai kadama. One method without arguments, one method with one argument. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ మీరు చూస్తే r dot. There are two draw methods, right? One method came from shape without argument. One method which we again written in the rectangle with one argument. What is this concept? Same method with the different arguments.
Override.
Method overloading, right? Method overloading is same method with the different arguments is method overloading. Okay, but whatever the name of the method, now name of the method must be same. If I give arguments also same, the parent class lo there is no arguments, child class also there is no arguments. No sir, parent class has one integer argument, child class also has one integer argument. Parent class method has two string arguments, child class also I read the same method with the two string arguments. Okay, what is the meaning now? Name of the method and arguments both name of the method and arguments both are same. Again, if I am writing the same method again in the child class, this concept is called as method override. It's called method override. Previously what we learned was method overloading. The method overloading. This is method override. Okay, so if I write a code here again, if I write here code to draw the rectangle, if I write again, now when you say r dot draw, which method it will call? Call the nearest one. Actually, one minute. If there is no draw method, actually, listen, all of you. When you run this rectangle program, first it has to search for r dot sides, means it has to search for where is the variable, right? First it will search for the variable in the same method. First ekkada search chestadu? First it will search for the variable in the same method, not there. Then it will search for the method in the same class, not there. Then it will search in the parent class. Oh, parent class it is there, so it is taking that value. Okay, now when I call r dot draw, where it will look for the method? First ekkada search chestadi? Variable ante method lo untayi, method lo undadu kada. When you call draw method, it will search for draw method in the rectangle class. First ekkada search chestadi ma? Same class. First it will search in the same class. Same class lo లేదు కదా, then it will check in the parent class. Parent class lo is there, right? So it will call it. But well, child class lo if it is there, it will search, it is there, right? So it will call the nearest one. Then it will call the nearest one. Okay, yes or no? So now when I run this program, which method it will call? Draw the rectangle. Okay, right?
Sir, one doubt. If this we have written that shape.java, we have written in 2 files, right? So can we not write in the same here only, that public void draw code to draw the shape? That one can we not write here only? In the same, we have written in 2 Java files, right, sir?
2 Java files.
Shape.java is one file and rectangle.java is another file. No, so we are trying to access.
Okay, so first of all, okay, let me correct. They are not files, they are classes.
Okay.
Classes kadamma ivi.
Yes, sir.
Cheppandi, ippudu cheppandi. I created 2 classes. Shape is one class, rectangle is another class. Yes.
So why we are not writing it in the same, I meaning to say, where the main program is there, why are we not writing there? In the sense, like in the package, in the rectangle.java itself, why can't we put this class shape there only?
అంటే ఏమంటున్నారు?
అంటే సార్ లైక్ ఇప్పుడు ఈ మెయిన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్
క్లాస్ అవసరం లేదు.
కాదు సార్, క్లాస్ అనేది
డైరెక్ట్ గా అసలు ఇది అవసరం లేదంటారా?
ఇది కావాలి సార్. ఈ ఎక్స్టెండ్ షేప్ అనే ఈ షేప్ అనేది క్లాస్ ఇక్కడే క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు కదా, మళ్ళీ వేరే చోట ఎందుకు క్రియేట్ చేశారు అనేది డౌట్ సార్. ఇప్పుడు షేప్ అని రాశారు కదా సార్, ఎక్స్టెండ్ షేప్. ఈ షేప్ అనేది మీరు వేరే క్లాస్ తీసుకొని క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్నారు కదా, దీంట్లోనే ఇది తీసుకెళ్ళి అక్కడే పేస్ట్ చేసి అంటే కంప్లీట్ గా దాంట్లోనే పెట్టచ్చు కదా సార్.
రాయొచ్చు. ఇది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, నేను ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది ప్యాకేజెస్ కాన్సెప్ట్ చెప్తాను, అప్పుడు ఐ కెన్ బెటర్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ప్రతిసారి అలా ఇలానే రాయాలా సార్? లేదు కదా, అంటే వేరే
సెపరేట్ గానే రాయాలి, ఇక్కడే రాయకూడదు. ఇక్కడే షేప్ అని మీరేమో, నాకు అర్థమైంది, మీరు ఏమంటున్నారు అంటే ఇక్కడే రాయొచ్చు కదా క్లాస్ షేప్ అంటున్నారు.
ఇప్పుడు మనం అలాగే ఎగ్జాంపుల్ లో చేసాం కదా మనము,
క్లాస్ షేప్ ఇక్కడే రాయమని అంటున్నారు మీరు.
ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్.
అంటే ఇది పబ్లిక్ క్లాస్ రెక్టాంగిల్, ఇది క్లాస్ షేప్ ఇక్కడే రాయమని అంటున్నారు మీరు.
అలాగా, ఇది పేరెంట్ క్లాస్ కదా, ఇది ఇక్కడే యాక్సెస్ ఎందుకు చేసుకోవట్లేదు, వేరే దాంట్లో
చేసుకోవాలి. మీరు ఇక్కడే రాసి ఇక్కడే ఇన్హెరిట్ చేయొచ్చు కదా అంటున్నారు మీరు. ఇదేనా మీ పాయింట్ మాధవి?
ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్ సార్, అదే సార్.
ఇలా రాయకూడదు ఎప్పుడు, నేను చెప్తాను దానికి రీజన్. సో దాన్ని ఎప్పుడు కానీ సపరేట్ గానే క్లాస్ రాసి ఇలా రాయండి. ఓకేనా? హలో.
ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్. ఓకే సార్.
మీరు ఏదో ప్రాక్టీస్ గురించి ఒక సింగిల్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాస్తే రాసుకోవచ్చు, కాదనట్లేదు.
ఓకే సార్.
కానీ ఒకే దాంట్లో రాయడం కరెక్ట్ కాదు. అది దాని పర్పస్ వేరే ఉంటాయి, దాని రీజన్స్ వేరే ఉంటాయి. ఓకే.
సో ఎప్పుడు కూడా పేరెంట్ క్లాస్ వేరే ఒకటే ప్యాకేజ్ లో వేరే క్లాస్ తీసుకుని రాయాలి, అంతే కదా సార్?
అట్లా ఒకే ప్యాకేజ్ ఉండాలని లేదు. ఇట్ కెన్ బి ఇన్ ఎ డిఫరెంట్ ప్యాకేజ్ ఆల్సో.
ఓకే సార్.
అందుకనే మీకు ఇప్పుడే చెప్పాలంటే మళ్ళీ నేను యాక్సెస్ మాడిఫైయర్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడాలి, ప్యాకేజ్ గురించి మాట్లాడాలి, అది ఇంకా తెలియదు కదా. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే సార్.
ఐ విల్ రిమెంబర్ దిస్. నేను ఇది గుర్తు పెట్టుకుంటాను. ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఇట్ ప్రాపర్లీ. ఓకే. This is okay, all of you? Hello.
Yes sir. Yes.
Okay, all of you. Now shape is a class. Now rectangle is inherited from shape. What is this concept? Is called as method override. It's called as method override. So if you write the same method again but with the different arguments, that is called as method overloading, right? And this is method override. Like this, if you take, for example, method override means, what is the meaning? Parent class method. And a parent class, there is a method. Same method once again we redefine in the child class with same name and same arguments. Okay, then it is called as overriding. And again remember, override is possible only when there is inheritance. All of you, override is possible only when there is inheritance. ఇప్పుడు ఈ సెంటెన్స్ ఏం రాసాము? వాట్ డిడ్ వి రైట్ దిస్ సెంటెన్స్? పేరెంట్ క్లాస్ మెథడ్ వన్స్ అగైన్ రీడిఫైన్ ఇన్ చైల్డ్ క్లాస్. అంటే పేరెంట్ టు చైల్డ్ ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది అది? when there is inheritance. When there is no inheritance, is it called as a parent child?
No, sir.
Yeah, if I create two different classes like this, in my class A and somewhere if I create class B, can you call A and B are parent and child?
No, sir.
No, we never call it because they are two independent classes. There is no parent child. And if you do extends, oh, then there is a parent child concept. Understood, right? So override is possible only only when there is inheritance. Override is possible only when there is
Inheritance.
so no inheritance, no override concept. No inheritance, no override. But overloading is possible in the same class also. Within the same class, if you declare draw method rasi, one more draw method with different arguments is possible. Okay, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now if you see this example, class shape is there. There is a public void draw is there. Rectangle extension shape is there. Now, if you write the same method with same arguments, this is called as override. And the same method with different arguments if you give, that's called
Overloading.
Okay, right? So now what is the difference between method override and method overload? Override is possible only when there is inheritance. So method name in the parent class and the child class must be same. Arguments also must be same. And the override is possible within the same class also. Method name must be same, but arguments must be different. Okay, that is the overloading. We can do it in the same class also, but method name must be same, but arguments must be different. That is overloading concept. Override is only parent to child, same method, same arguments, only same. That is override concept. Is it okay? My difference understood? Okay, na? Next. If a variable is let us take one variable. Int x is one variable. Inside the draw method, if I give x equal to 10, actually first where it will search for x, I said search for x in the same method. Even in the same method x is there? No. Then where it will search? It will search in the same class. In this class we have the x is there? No. Then it is going to the parent class. Oh, parent class x is there, right? Oh, it is taking that x. Okay. So for example, you are there in your okay, you are okay now. Right now you are sitting in your bedroom. Now there is a TV in the hall. In the common area there is a TV. Now if you are asking someone to switch on the TV, which TV they will switch on? TV ఎక్కడుందన్నాను? కామన్ ఏరియాలో ఉంది అన్నాను. సో ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఎవరైనా టీవీ ఆన్ చేయమంటే విచ్ టీవీ దే విల్ స్విచ్ ఆన్? The one in the common area. That means they look for the one which is very far to you. Yes or not? But suppose in your room also there is a TV. If you are asking someone to switch on the TV, you are sitting in your room. In your room also there is a TV. If you are asking someone to switch on the TV, which TV they will switch on? Which is the nearest one to you, right? Yes or not? They will not go and switch on which is in the common area, right? Yes or not? So like that, first it will search for x in the same method, not there. Then it will search for the x in the same class, not there. Then it is searching for x in the parent class. Okay? Other same class lo kuda malli once again I have x is there. Now x equal to 10 and which x it is referring to? Yeah, come on, nearest one. Which is the nearest one? The one in the same class, right? Nearest one. Are they inside a method also if you have same x? If I say x equal to 10, which x it is referring to? Come on, all of you.
The method.
It is referring to the x in the same method, right? That means now it is refer to x in the draw method, right? Nothing but local variable, right? Local variable. But now I have same variable in the method, same variable in the class also. Same name to undi. Idi XA, same name, same variable in the local, same variable in the class. How to tell the variable in the class? If I say x equal to 20, again it is referring to the local x only. How to differentiate? Then ela differentiate cheyali. Idi local variable, idi class variable. How to differentiate? No. You understood the question first of all? Because same variable is there in the local, same variable is there in the class also. If I say x equal to 10 anna local, x equal to 20 anna local. No. I want to refer to the one in the class. So then in Java we have a word called this. This dot x equal to 20 and this refers to the current class. What is that this refers to? This refers to current class. But no, I want to refer the x in the parent class. Okay, I want to refer the x in the parent class. Then what I can use? Super dot x. Super dot x equal to 30. So super refers to what? So what is this keyword? This refers to current same class. Current same class. Super refers to parent class. So why we have this word? This is the reason why we have this is. See this example. What are the arguments it is taking? So S1 until we don't understand what is S1 and what is S2. So I want to give the same meaningful names. In my variables always we give meaningful names, right? What should I give here? S name. And here also I will give what I call course. Oh, what I am giving Kiran is a name only, right? Triple A is course only, right? Previously, yeah, yes, previously what was there?
S1.
S1 kada. S name equal to S1 until we can understand. Oh, S name is which is in the S name is in the class. So S name equal to S1 until we understand it. There is no confusion. If it is S1 badalo, what is that I am changing to?
Yes,
S
name.
name. And if it is S1 place, I have to change to S name, right? But S name equal to S name until any meaningful?
No, sir.
Course equal to course until any meaningful?
No.
Now I have to differentiate, right? The differentiate cheyali kadamma.
Yes, sir.
This S name is a class variable kada. S name is local, right? The S name is local, but this S name is belong to the class, right? So how to differentiate this? So this dot S name equal to S name. So this dot course equal to course. Adi meaning. So when you are passing the arguments to a method, when you are passing, if arguments say when you are passing arguments to a method, the name of the variable is same name of the variable in the class already. Okay, so now to differentiate, what is that word we are using? This. So this refers to the variable in the current class. Oh, normal S name refers to the one local. Okay, right? So this dot S name is the one in the class equal to E name. This dot course, the one in the class equal to course. Okay, right? So usually when you are passing arguments to a method, so arguments also will be same name of the variables in the class. So there could a differentiation కోసం we use what we call this. Okay, right? Yes. So now when you see this keywords, this and super, right? So yeah, the same example, I have a class A, int x is there, class B, extends A. Here also again I have x is there. In the method also I have x is there. Yeah, if you say x equal to 10 means, it will refer to the x which is nearest, right? It will refer to the x, it will refer, right? And if I say this dot x means, refer to the one in the class. Either super dot x means refers to one in the parent class. So this refers to the current class, whereas super refers to the parent class. Okay, na terminology. So now once again let us come back from beginning. Inheritance. So inheritance, to reuse the variables and methods of a class in another class, nothing but child class. So all variables and methods of parent class will come to child class. So like this example, right? Now all common things are written in a window. Notepad is inherited from window. Word, Excel, all are inherited from window. So now Notepad is a child or subclass, whereas window is a super or parent class. So now the term you understood, right? If I create object for child class, we can access parent class methods also, right? Okay. The next method, override and overload, right? Override is parent class method. Once again, we rewrite in the child class. That is called as override. Okay. But arguments, if are different, means that is called as overloading. This and super, right? This refers to the current class. Super refers to parent class. Types of inheritance, right? Single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance. Okay. So, but this is not possible in Java. Okay. I think one small example is here written here. I asked you to write what you call class vehicle, and a class scooter extends vehicle, because scooter is a vehicle only, right? So already vehicle has some method drive. One method is there. Either some color, model, price are there. So scooter. So create object for scooter and see the methods. What methods you can access? You can try to assign the values, right? Scooter color equal to something, model equal to something, price equal to something. Call the drive method. But you can access all these variables and methods in child class also, all of you. Yeah, please, all of you. If you create object for scooter later, if you create object for scooter, so using scooter object, we can access color, model, price, drive, all we can access. Try and create one parent class, create one scooter class, create one car extends vehicle, and if scooter also extends vehicle, car also extends vehicle. So here car has one extra method, stop. If you create object for car, you can access all these variables and methods plus one extra method, right? But with scooter, you can access all these variables and methods.
So car extends scooter vehicle.
ఆలోచించు. స్కూటర్ అయినా వెహికల్, కార్ అయినా వెహికల్, రెండింటికి పేరెంట్ వెహికల్ ఉంటారు. కార్ స్కూటర్ నుంచి ఇన్హెరిట్ చేస్తాం. కరెక్టే, కరెక్టే. ఇప్పుడు ఇట్లా కాన్సెప్ట్ తీసుకున్నప్పుడు అది కాన్సెప్ట్ సిచ్యువేషన్ ప్రకారం యూ హ్యావ్ టు డూ ఇట్. సిచ్యువేషన్ బేస్డ్ ఉండాలి. ఇప్పుడు నోట్ ప్యాడ్ ఉంది, నోట్ ప్యాడ్ విండో నుంచి ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేసాం, ఓల్డ్ కూడా విండో నుంచి తీసుకున్నాం, అంతేగాని ఓల్డ్ నోట్ ప్యాడ్ నుంచి తీసుకుంటామా? అది ఓకే, కానీ అది ఓకే కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎప్పుడు ఆ సిచ్యువేషన్ ఉన్నప్పుడు. ఇక్కడ ఏంటి, ఇప్పుడు కార్ ఈజ్ ఏ స్కూటరా, కార్ ఈజ్ ఏ వెహికల్, స్కూటర్ ఈజ్ ఏ వెహికల్. స్కూటర్ వెహికల్ నుంచి ఇన్హెరిట్ చేయాలి, car also inherit from vehicle. Okay. Scooter kunde properties methods car ke. Okay. So a parent class, but example programming when I'm doing TV is a parent class. LG extends TV. Sony also extends from TV. So TV ku rendu child class untayi gani. LG extends TV, Sony extends LG nunchi Sony ke. Understood, right? So both are inherited from TV. So if one parent class, there are two different child classes, right? Okay. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, ఇప్పుడు ఏమైంది, ఇది మల్టీ లెవెల్. ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్ 4 రాశాను, 4 ఎక్స్టెండ్స్ కార్ అంటాం. ఓకేనా? ఇప్పుడు ఏమైంది, ఇది ఈ సిచ్యువేషన్ లో కార్ ఎక్స్టెండ్స్. ఓకే, ఇది ప్రస్తుతానికి పక్కన పెడితే, నీ కాన్సెప్ట్ పాయింట్ పక్కన పెడితే, ఇప్పుడు వాట్ ఈస్ దట్? కార్ ఎక్స్టెండ్స్ వెహికల్, Ford extends car. Okay, na? B from A, C from B. Okay, na? Try and just try one small examples like this. Okay, are like this shape or rectangle or square like that. But shape untadi. Now rectangle extends shape. Square also extends shape. Triangle is triangle also extends shape. So shape has multiple child classes. Okay. So what are all concepts we learned today? One is constructor. Another is inheritance. So constructor is what you call constructor name is same name of the constructor name is same name of the class. Constructor is called only one time when object is created, right? The constructor is called only one time when object is created. So constructor don't have return type. Return type under the right. Next, constructor also can be overloaded. Same like method of overloading. Okay, many differences you can remember them. And inheritance. Inheritance is basically to reuse. There are multiple classes has some common variables and methods. Now, you create all these things in a parent class, inherit all these classes from the parent class. Okay. Now you remember one last 5 minutes class for today. For example, calculation class is there. Do we have to create object for this class in the same class or in outside also we can create object and access? My calculation class on together. If I want to access these methods, do I have to create object for the calculations in the same class or in other program also I can create and access the methods? మొన్న ఇక్కడ కూడా చేశాం కదా. Add అని ఇక్కడ కాల్ చేయలేదు మనం. And we can create object of a class in other class and still we can access the variables and methods, right?
Yes, sir.
Suppose if I have a class A. Class A has an F1 method. If I want to reuse this F1 method in class B, what I can do?
Extend say
Class B extends.
Yeah.
class.
Okay. Now B is a child of A, right?
Yes.
So now I have to create object for which class? I have to
B.
create object for B, right? B obj equal to new B. Obj dot F1 method. This is what we have done over 10 minutes before what we are doing today. Just now I told you. You can create object of a class in another class and still we can access the methods, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So now I have a class C. C is not inherited from A, but still can I call F1 method here? How can you call F1 method here? Now directly I can create object for A, right? A, some object equal to new A. Obj dot F1 method. I can directly call, right? All of you, do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I want to reuse, so the point is to reuse the F1 method in other class. There are two ways, right? There are two ways. So to reuse the F1 method in other class, how many ways are there? There are two ways. So what are the two ways? This is one way of doing it. This is another way of doing it. So one way is we inherit it. Another way is we directly create object for A and still we can access it. Just to so you are writing a program called even odd. Scanner is some other program. You are directly creating object for scanner and still accessing the methods, right? Same all of you. But even odd is a different program. You are still directly creating object for scanner class and still accessing the methods, right? And if it inheritance concept, the second concept. The second concept, right? You're directly creating object and still accessing, right? Let inherit cheste. But you create object for B. Don't do for A now. But A car, you have to create object for child class. Because B got methods of A. You create object for B. But ఇక్కడ C doesn't know anything about A. Because C is not a child of A. So directly you create object for A and still you can access. Okay? So now these are the two ways how you can access the variables and methods of a class in another class. So e concept no inheritance under. This concept is called as inheritance. This concept is called as composition. Okay, this is called as inheritance. This is called as composition. So based on the situation, we can do whatever we want. Correct? Because based on the situation, based on how we are doing programming, so we do the best way based on the situation. Always inheritance, no rule. Always composition, no rule. What is best and what is the situation? Accordingly, we do.
Sir, then why we require inheritance?
Is this okay, ma?
We can directly, when we are able to access, we will not.
Kuch gatti japra Madhavi.
Sir, like then the need of inheritance. Why, sir? Why is the need of inheritance? Like we can anyway access using the composition, right? Without inheritance also.
Yeah, ఎప్పుడు ఇలా suitable కాదు. We always do, situation based we do inheritance as well as situation based we do composition also.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So then when we are doing Selenium, how we can use both, right?
Yes, sir.
Do Java, we are learning all the concepts. So unless until we know all these concepts, we are going to use these things when we do Selenium, right? ఇవన్నీ ఎక్కడ వాడతామా ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ ఇవన్నీ మనం Selenium చేయాలి కదమ్మా. We need to learn Selenium, right, to do programming. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, after we will see how we are using inheritance, how we are using composition.
Okay.
After you will better understand practically, right? So మరి ఇక్కడ ఎందుకు ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ చేయలేదు లేదు ఇక్కడ ఎందుకు కంపోజిషన్ చేయలేదంటే you will get the reason at that. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, but remember these things. Understand and remember these are the two different ways are there. This is how you do method overload. This is how you do method override. This is how you do inheritance. Okay, this is what constructor means. This is what method means. Okay, remember all these things. Okay, Madhavi?
Okay, sir. Okay.